Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Sade. Thank y'all so much for joining me for our astrology talk. For today, we are diving into what does it mean when you have your sun in the sign of Aquarius. Now, if you have not seen any of my videos on what the sun, moon, and rising mean in your astrology chart, because they all have such a unique, specific meaning, head over to my channel, Hidden Alchemy, where you can find tons and tons of videos on these topics before diving into this video. Also, to note, my books are officially open for readings. So, if you are interested in your own personalized reading, head over to my website, Hidden Alchemy by Sade, where you can find the contact information to get in contact with me so we can go ahead and schedule your reading. All right, everyone, let's get into the sun in the sign of Aquarius. Now, this is definitely one of my favorite signs. I feel like I say this in all my videos. I really love all of the signs, but Aquarius energy, one of my favorite energies to dissect, to understand, and to really be in relation with, because these are some loving, funny, really understanding folks. And I do feel that Aquarius, along with a few other signs, really get a bad rep in the zodiac and are definitely one of the most misunderstood signs. So, diving into what your sun sign means. Your sun sign is just one aspect of your chart, and it deals with the conscious personality and ego that you understand and are aware of about yourself. I would definitely say one thing is not more important than the other, but just because your sun is in the sign of Aquarius doesn't necessarily mean that all of the Aquarian characteristics you're going to feel the most grounded with. It really depends a lot more on your moon, which is your psyche, as well as your rising. So, your sun is your ego, it's your conscious awareness of your ego, your personality, and just the traits in the conscious realm that you have to use through your life. Now, the sun is the natural ruler of Leo. Leo is the opposite sign of Aquarius. So, when we have Aquarius in the sun, we have these two opposing energies coming together, which makes it very difficult for these folks to really truly express who they really are. And this is why they really can suffer from being misunderstood. Aquarius is the final air sign, so it rules the intellect, the mind, and it's fixed. So these are people who are very fixed in the way that they view things. I say this all the time. I I know for a fact, because I have so many Aquarian friends. My father's an Aquarius rising. These folks are very stubborn because they're a fixed element. So they're fixed in the way that they view things pertaining to being of service to the collective, to humanity at large. It's the final air sign. I mentioned that, and it's masculine. So these are people who initiate action into the world and change based off of the foundations and structures that are already available, what needs to be innovated. Now, the planet that rules Aquarius is Saturn as well as Uranus. Saturn is the original ruler of Aquarius, and Uranus is the more modern day ruler, joint ruler as well. Saturn is the planet that rules restrictions, it rules boundaries, it rules infrastructure, it rules karma, it rules duty and responsibility. And it is the official ruler of Capricorn as well. And it likes to be placed in the 10th or the 11th house. Now, Uranus is the planet of innovation, it's the planet of expansion, it's the planet of freedom mentality and freedom thinking, futuristic thinking, but all of it is used for the betterment of humanity. So, whenever we're working with Saturn and Uranus energy, it's not change and boundaries for the sake of change and boundaries, it's change and boundaries for the sake of bettering humanity in some way, shape, or form. And if you know any Aquarians, you know that these are people that care a lot about specific things that are geared towards maybe children of the world, maybe food, maybe shelter, anything that is going to make the life of human beings more livable and easier. These are folks that care a lot about these things. Now, the beautiful thing about Aquarius, it is the 11th house ruler, and the 11th house rules technology, it rules your social circle, it rules your tribe, your friends, and your dreams, the dreams that you have for a bigger and brighter future. Now, when I say dreams that you have for a bigger and brighter future, it's not the dreams as in like Pisces or Neptune. It's logical because Aquarius is an air sign, it rules the intellect. And it's the thoughts and ideas that they have, the future innovative ideas that they have to create something based off of the infrastructure that we currently have. They like to see, okay, what do we have? What can we take from it that we still need? And how can we make things better? That is the Aquarian archetype. It's all about making things better for the development of humanity. And that's why these folks, in my opinion, are truly some of the most genius types of thinkers, because they can understand where habits and routines are, and they can see how something can be made better for humanity in some way, shape, or form. And now that we are in this AI world, this truly is the Aquarian age, because Aquarius rules technology, and it's really where we're heading, where we're using technology to make the lives of humans easier, but also to do many other things. But that's another topic for another video. But that is the Aquarian energy. It's the tech energy. It's how can we innovate something and make it different, make it unique. And when you notice these people are very big on being freedom thinkers and independent thinkers. This is a very independent sign. And this is why they can get that rep of being detached. And it's not that Aquarians are detached. It's just that when you think about the Aquarian archetype, right? Aquarius season is literally the coldest season of the year, right after Capricorn. And when you think about the opposite of Aquarius, it's Leo. So when we think about Leo, it's the warmest time of the year. It's when the sun is out. It's when the sun wants to shine and show off. Aquarius is not about that. Aquarius is about the mind. It's about, what are you studying? What are you thinking about? How are you creating in the mind? And these people are not as connected to the emotional way of expressing, because they really like to process things in the mind first. It's not that these people don't have emotions, they're human, right? So they definitely have emotions. However, they have a hard time communicating the emotion because they're so heavily logic based. And if you know many Aquarians, especially people who have an Aquarius rising, they have a very hard time emoting emotion. They almost never really emote emotion. And even when they are talking about their feelings, they're talking about it in a very logical way. And this is how they express themselves, which for other people, it seems as if they don't care. And it's not that they don't care, they just have their own way, their own unique new type of way of showing how they care for people. And it's really through their acts of service and how they show up. Aquarians can actually, when they're in their younger and more immature stage, they can put people before themselves, and they have a hard time feeling worthy to put their ideas, their views, and themselves first. Reason being, it's the opposite of Leo. When you think of Leo energy, right, Leos don't struggle with self worth necessarily. The archetype of Leo is the sun. So the sun wants to shine, the sun wants to be centered, the sun feels worthy just because. Whereas Aquarius doesn't feel, they don't have that fire to push forward the ideas that they have, because they sometimes can let the ideas sit in the mind. They rule the mind. So they're constantly thinking and overthinking and underthinking and side thinking, to the point where they really exhaust themselves mentally and end up not pushing forward with an idea or a creation. And these are people, because they have such genius ideas, but they lack that fire of Leo. They can sit on an idea, and then a year later, someone else that might have that fire energy will push forward with a similar idea that they might have had. And they can really struggle with, like, damn, like I thought about that way before. And that's because these folks are the innovators. They are the trendsetters of the zodiac. But because Aquarius can really suffer from lack of ego, Leo is the ego. So they suffer from the lack of ego. So they sometimes don't really know how to put themselves center and put themselves forward to be seen for their genius ideas, because they can be very self-conscious about how other people will view their mind. Because Aquarius is a fixed sign, they like to have control over their mind. And this is why they don't share their ideas a lot of times. And this is why they can be very stubborn. And this is also why they have a hard time taking advice or asking for help, because they don't really like to expose people to what's going on in their mind, because they like to have control over that aspect of themselves. And that also goes to them sharing their creative projects. They can be very self-conscious about what are other people going to think about the thoughts and the ideas that I have, when really the thoughts and the ideas that they have are such genius, such futuristic, and so unique and different and needed within humanity. Because Aquarius is a masculine sign, even if you are a woman or woman identifying person with the sign of Aquarius, you are going to initiate into this world with more masculine energy. It's very rare for me to see an Aquarius that is, I'm not going to say isn't feminine, but these are people, because they are conservative but also unconservative, these are people that can really be on their own for most of their life. Again, they're individual thinkers. So they're going to think in terms of, what do I want? What do I think? Right? Not what we think, but what do I think? And they're going to lead their life based off of what they think without needing the input of other people, which can make it more masculine in energy, especially if you are a woman identifying person with this energy. However, this is what makes Aquarian people very self sufficient, because they think for themselves. They do not allow society to tell them who they are and why they shouldn't be the way that they are. They feel very aware of the mind, but unaware of the self, which is Leo. Leo is aware of the self, the ego. And that's what Aquariuses have to work more on, which will help them tap more into that feminine energy of understanding their emotions and knowing that even though the emotions is not logical, right, it's still an indicator of information that is very important for us to continue moving forward. It's not that these folks don't have emotions. It's just that they will logicalize their emotions and then logicalize why they shouldn't have that emotion. And then they really won't ask for help. So you have a hard time, unless you're really close with an Aquarius, you really don't know what these people are going through unless they divulge it to you, which they won't. You have to be very, very close to them. A lot of my close friends are Aquariuses, and we have a very intimate relationship. So, of course, I know what's going on in their life, but they're not like that with most people because, again, they have a hard time emoting the actual emotion that they might be feeling, because they move through the world with that sun energy, how they move consciously from a more logical, strategic type of standpoint. Now, Aquarius is ruled by the water bearer, which a lot of people think that Aquarius, because of the aqua, is a water sign and the symbol is the water bearer. But what that water bearer is the Aquarian pouring new ideas and innovation and beliefs into society so that society can pick these information up and move forward on their journey. Aquarius is all about innovation, and these people care about creating something long lasting. That's what the Saturn energy comes from. Long lasting, with boundaries, with infrastructure, but with uniqueness, with innovation, so that we can have something better for the future. All in all, love, love, love this Aquarian sign. Definitely one of the most misunderstood signs. These people have such a generous heart. They're big humanitarians. They care so much about making sure everyone else is living well. Truly, if other people are not happy, Aquarians have a hard time being happy because they really care about the good of all. So, such an amazing sign. Let me know if you have an Aquarius sun. Click like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you for our next video.